night. Now, before I got home,
okay, let's listen to this.
I had received a call that a couple detectives from the Richmond police had come by my house. And if you watched the DC stream last night, you don't see me very much for the last hour because it kind of took me out of the mood of the whole IRL streaming. Because it was like, wow, these Spurgs have really, seeped over into my real life at this point, and now what the fuck, police are coming by my house, and I was just like, all right, fuck it, I want to get back home. So if you watch the last hour, you'll notice I'm not on camera that much because it's just like, oh fuck, this is bullshit. But when I got home, around 8:45. Now I was already gonna probably postpone the stream, but I got home around 8:45. Now this is not the apartment. I have another home too, and a car pulled in right behind me. And I was like, okay, well, this is the police. I've had dealings with police before. I know this is how the police operate. They roll in right behind you. So I got out of my car. A female detective walked up, and she said, hey, I came by earlier. I'm with the Richmond police, and I want to talk to you about a few things. You're not in trouble. You're not in trouble. Don't worry about it. But I just wanted to.
So she just pulled up behind him. No announcement, not letting him know that the cops are going to be there. They make no attempt at all to tell him ahead of time that hey, we know you're on probation. We didn't bother to let your parole officer know that we're coming to meet you. Never at any point did the Richmond police think that it would be a smart idea to contact somebody that's already on parole. So, and they never let him know, hey, we're going to get there right as you get there. They just pull up on him. So it's very strange that they didn't pull up on him with the probation officer. They should have contacted his probation officer. They should have known that he was already on parole. They would have ran his rap sheet and seen that he was arrested previously. They would have bought the probation officer, and they wouldn't have sent a woman, too, given the fact that he has a history of violence against cops. So it's very strange.
Kind of clear up a few things with you. I said, yeah, I think I already know why you're here. And she said, wait, well, why do you think I'm here? And I said, well, people called, trolls on the internet called you and said that I had child porn. And she said, well, how did you know that? And I said, well, they publicly posted the phone call that they made on an image board called Cal on 8chan. And then I played her a little bit of this.
No, that's just common practice. If they have somebody that has just been arrested and did time in jail for attempting to assault an officer while intoxicated, why would they send out a lone woman to just talk with him privately alone in the middle of the night and pull up on him? They would have sent her there with a partner so that they could both get an even take, and they would have asked questions. It's very strange that they would just send her out there, a lone woman by herself, with somebody that has a history of attacking cops. So he just explained a woman detective got out of the car. Where are all the other cops? And I thought an FBI agent was there too. He just said a lone woman.
This is not the apartment. I have another home too. And a car pulled in right behind me. And I was like, okay, well, this is the police. I've had dealings with police before. I know this is how the police operate. They roll in right behind you. So I got out of my car. A female detective walked up, and she said, hey, I came by earlier.
He just said, got out of the car, female detective walked up. Woman cops aren't going to pull up on a guy completely alone that has a history of attacking cops, and they wouldn't send a woman either. So at this point, I'm Xing it out. That's not general process with approaching somebody that has a history of attacking cops. And where are all the other cops? Just one woman shows up? This is bullshit.
I'm with the Richmond.
in the Richmond area. And
Ghost.
screen of like some admitted.
Argues that's a lie, and I didn't have any child porn. And she's like, "Look, I don't even care if you." Goes on. It's like 8 minutes long. I'm not gonna play the whole call.
Now listen to this.
I only played 2 or 3 minutes for her, and at that point, I said, "Well, I didn't admit to any drug use. That's a lie, and I didn't have any child porn." And she's like, "Look, I don't even care if you have drugs."
That right there. You're telling me that a fucking cop came up to your house with suspicion that you could have child porn on the computer, and she said, "I don't care if you have drugs on you," while you're on probation? Are you fucking kidding me? Let me just listen to that again.
I'm not gonna play the whole call. I only played 2 or 3 minutes for her, and at that point, I said, "Well, I didn't admit to any drug use. That's a lie, and I didn't have any child porn." And she's like, "Look, I don't even care if you have drugs. That's not why I'm here." I said, "Yeah, I understand. I know you have to check these things out."
I don't even care if you have drugs. That's not why I'm here. He's on probation. If he's under suspicion for a crime, they would have called his probation officer and brought them with him. They would have said, he's being reported for having drugs, he's being reported for having child porn, you have to come and represent him. It's just weird.
And she said, "Well, why would somebody do this to you?" And I said, "Well, they think it's funny." And I literally pulled up 8chan Cow and showed it to her. I said, they literally sit in this thread all day and think of ways to fuck with us. And she said, "Yeah, I know a little bit about it." I said, "The whole stream's up." She said, "We had got sent clips, like little snippets out of the stream." And I said, "Yeah, the whole stream's posted if you want to go listen to it." She said, "Yeah, I actually did. It was on a place, something called Kiwi." And I go, "Kiwi Farms." You know, obviously I already know what it is. And she said, yeah, Kiwi Farms. We started talking, and just, like, she was nice. I mean, there was no problems whatsoever. And she said, "Look, I just want to get this cleared up tonight. I think it's probably bullshit. But let's just get it cleared up tonight so I don't have to, so we can just, I can report back and say there's nothing up."
So at this point, the cop says, "I checked out Kiwi Farms. I checked out Cow." At this point, she hasn't even been in the house more than, 5-10 minutes? He shows her some clips from his stream, and she says, "This sounds like bullshit." She never at any time follows normal law procedure, gets out a forensics kit, starts looking through his computer. No, she just takes a person that is a felon that's on probation at their word and says, "It's okay. I don't care if you got drugs. It's all right. I've seen it. I've heard the snippets. I checked it out on something, Kiwi something. Yeah, Kiwi Farms. Yeah, you were definitely on the farms, right? Yeah, I checked that forum out. It seems like they're a bunch of spurgs. It seems like bullshit. I just need to, cross the T's, dot the I's. That's all I need to check everything out. Sounds okay." So let's listen to the story continue.
And I said, "Sure, okay." And she said, "If you can just let my partner," her partner is actually FBI agent. This is like a task force.
You hear that right there? Her partner is an FBI agent. The FBI operates independently. They would never partner up with a fucking local police force in Richmond, Virginia, unless they were working on actively arresting a criminal and they set up an intermediary task force to track the criminal and arrest them. That is the only time. There is no way in hell a cop from the Richmond Police Department showed up with an FBI agent partner. What the fuck is this? They work together, but they don't have an active partnership like that. An FBI agent's going to show up in their own shit with their own fucking car. They're going to show up in a fucking Richmond police car and get out and be like, "Yeah, we're in this task force together." That's not how the task force fucking work. I know how they work. They're not going to be local partnerships. They're not going to show up in the same car. They have their own fucking cars. I just called the fucking FBI agent live on the air, and they said that was bullshit. You're going to tell me that this guy didn't come up? You don't think that there's fucking something called procedure, especially when approaching a suspected criminal? That the FBI agent himself wouldn't have approached him first and said, "Hello, I'm so-and-so with this field office"? Yeah, they let the fucking cop pull up on him first? Come on. The cop wouldn't have been allowed to pull up on him. If the FBI was involved at that point, they had jurisdiction. They wouldn't have sent the cop. They would have sent the fucking agent. They would not have showed up in the same fucking Richmond PD car. Oh, what's up? I'm a detective with a special task force. This is my partner. He's in the FBI. They wouldn't have sent a fucking woman who's about to approach a suspected unsub who has a history of assaulting police. Come on.
And she said, if you can just let my partner, go through your phone and your PC, we'll just clear this up tonight. And I said,
Right there. Let my partner go through things. He doesn't have to let anybody go through anything. He's on probation. He has no fucking choice at that point. They could do whatever they want. They don't need to ask him for permission. They could just take it.
I said, yeah, sure. And I signed a release form. They grabbed my phone. Well, they didn't grab it. I handed it to him. And after her partner pulled up, and he...
Wait a minute. Her partner just pulled up? What? I thought he was always there. So she pulls up first. She says, I got to call my partner, who is also in the FBI at the same time that he's at our fucking, our special task force. And they didn't call his probation officer at all. They didn't think to know, they didn't think to ask the probation officer to come and make the decision for him. At that point, he's a felon on probation. He has no decisions. He wouldn't be asked to sign a form. They would go to his probation officer to sign it first. So why is the probation officer not there to okay the search of the house? The probation officer would want to be there to begin with to know if he's violating his probation so that they can have him sent back to jail to begin with. And I could have swore that he said that the guy was already there. Now he just pulled up? Because he just said that.
Partner, go through your phone and your PC. We'll just clear this up tonight. And I said, yeah, sure. And I signed a release form. They grabbed my phone. Well, they didn't grab it. I handed it to him. And after her partner pulled up.
They grabbed the phone after I signed the police for after her partner pulled up. He is on probation, Black Goat, because he needed permission to go to Tennessee. I don't know why you guys are talking about shit when he said multiple times on stream he's still on probation. In fact, he just said that he can't wait to get off probation really soon so he can go see his wife. He said that on stream too.
And he thumbed through it, went through the images, looked at the history, and he's like, oh, okay, nothing here. Then they came in the house and they went through my computer. Not really that. They just kind of looked.
That right there. Did you hear what he just said? They thumbed through his phone and said, doesn't look like much, and handed back the phone. Not that they took an image of the phone. Not that they fucking went and they ran it through forensics. No, they took his phone and just thumbed through it. Yeah, that's really the procedure that they go through when they're investigating these kinds of crimes. They thumb through the phone. Oh yeah, we looked at his gallery. We didn't see anything. There could be something hidden else on the phone. We're not going to look into it. Doesn't look like much. Here's your phone back. Go call your friends. Let them know. Come on. They thumb through your phone? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, they just leave it right in the gallery, They don't have hidden volumes on the phone or anything hidden like that. No, they just say, oh, we thumbed through your phone. Here you go, buddy. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they don't pull out any of the special forensics kits or control pods and things that they use to fucking image stuff live. They would have taken his phone, they would have plugged it into a thing, they would have imaged the phone and then handed it back to him. They would have never just thumbed through the phone and handed it back to him. That's bullshit. And I know damn well the FBI does not fucking do that. The FBI is not going to thumb through your phone and then hand it back to you. They're going to take a fucking image of it and they're going to send it out to an RCFL. Now, the agent that I just fucking called over an hour ago said the same fucking thing. They would have taken the phone, they would have taken that shit, they would have imaged it, they would have given it back to him, they would have signed the form. There is no way in hell an FBI agent's going to show up and they're going to send a fucking cop to take point. Are you kidding me? A cop would not get to take point on a case, especially a criminal investigation, in somebody possessing child porn. At that point, the FBI would take over. They wouldn't say, oh, well, this is my partner, and I'm going to let her take point. I'm going to send her out ahead to meet this guy that has a history of attacking cops, and she's going to sit and bullshit with him and talk with him about kiwi farms while I take a casual drive over there. So he casually pulls up in his own car, and he goes, yeah, let me just take a look at this phone. Oh, see, you're still using iOS 10. Might want to move up to 11, buddy. Actually, I think 12's out on the beta. Yeah. Looks good. Here you go. Hands it over. Walks into the house.
I looked around, poked around a little bit, and he's like, yeah, this is bullshit. And they left.
Yeah, so at that point, the cop just casually goes through his computer, doesn't pull out any kind of forensics tools, doesn't use any kind of programs to look for hidden volumes or shadow volumes on the hard drives, doesn't look for any encrypted volumes, nothing like that. Doesn't bother to do like any kind of, deep search or crawl the computer. No, he just checks out like the pictures in the My Documents folder, looks through some of the folders on the desktop, goes, it seems like bullshit, and just walks away.
Dick Toe says, Ralph, this is just what the fuck, man. Yeah, I mean, this is what's happening in real life. So I figured why not just put it all out there. Let's see, without a warrant. Yeah, because I let them look at it. I signed the release.
I let them look at it. I signed the release. I don't have a copy of the release though. I didn't bother to post that publicly to, back up my story or anything.
Ralph, you are crazy. Are you crazy? Yeah, normally you wouldn't do something like that. I know Nick Recato is rolling over and you say, what the fuck? You need a lawyer. But no. I just went ahead and signed it. And they left. Actually, I think I have her card. There's the card right there. Of course, I blocked out her information.
Yeah, I had enough time to take a picture of her card. I block out her information, even though there's only one person that's female on the entire task force. And, I'm not going to bother to, block out my information and just show what they reviewed and what they scanned. They would have given me a detailed receipt of the programs that they ran, what kind of inspection that they did. The consent form would have said what devices were authorized to search in the house. It would have been detailed. It would have said exactly what computers they were scanning, laptops, hard drives, desktops, phones, USB drives. They would have written out a whole fucking receipt list for what they were going over. Yet they don't give him the receipt list. They just did a quick, I thumbed through his phone. Oh, it looks okay to me. Here you go, buddy. Go fuck yourself. All right, let's go over here. Oh, well, I just looked at the computers. He plays Fortnite every once in a while. That's okay.
But there's her card, just in case people thought I was making this up. But yeah, they actually did come by, thumb through the computer, through my phone. And I had a laptop at the apartment. And I said, look, if you want to go through my laptop, we can go there and get it. Or, you can go pick it up. And they said, no, we don't care. So.
Yeah, you're currently wanted or, under the suspicion of having and trafficking and possessing child porn on your computer. Go back to the other house. Go back to the apartment where you have this laptop that's, mysteriously not there. Nah, we don't care. We don't give a shit. We don't care. Yeah, we don't care about the laptop that you seem to be very concerned about and you moved it to the other house. We don't care. We don't give a shit. I gotta listen to this again.
Just in case people thought I was making this up. But yeah, they actually did come by, thumb through the computer, through my phone. And I had a laptop at the apartment. And I said, look, if you want to go through my laptop, we can go there and get it. Or, you can go pick it up. And they said, no. We don't care.
First off, he already signed the consent form. They would have asked him what computers he had and what was in the house ahead of time so that they could fill out the receipt for what they're imaging. They would have said, how many computers do you have in the house? And he would have said, oh, well, my mom has some computers. I got a computer. I got a laptop, got an iPad. I got my phone. And they would have filled out everything. they do fill out a receipt for what they're imaging because they need to, because when you sign that consent form, you authorize and give the police as well as the FBI the right to own the image. So when they take that image of your computer, they own the legal rights and they can search through everything. And if they find anything, they can prosecute you for it. And you can't make any arguments because you've authorized them to take ownership of that fucking image. So yeah, they fill out a receipt form. They let you know specifically what computers they're searching and what images they're backing up. So if they went through and they actually did this, very weird that they did not give him a receipt, that they told him that they didn't need to see other laptops. Bullshit. You are fucking lying. There is no way in hell this story is real. No way. Bullshit.
So that's all that happened with that. So they left afterwards. Ralph got her digits. No, it did not. Smash or pass, Ralph. She was kind of attractive, yes. But that's what happened with all that. And originally I was waiting. So also I knew this guy was probably going to put out a story. And so I was like, I'll wait and see before I put all this out there. But yeah, that's what happened. I'm looking through chat. Smash or pass.
So that's what happened, but never at any time do you say, Andy talked to the police. You told this whole story on your stream, but you never told anybody that Andy was there and that Andy talked to the police. Never at any time do you mention this. Why, when you're telling this story, do you not say that Andy was there, he backed me up, he said that they could come talk? Never once does any of this add up.
Pass, Ralph. I won't run that. I won't run that poll or ask that question. But she was fairly attractive. All right, but yeah, that's what happened with it. I told Gator this last night. I told other people, but I didn't go into it on air. But yeah, they actually did come up my house. The SOVA, that's Southern Virginia, I believe. ICAC Task Force came by, looked through my shit, and cleared me of it. So
all I've got to say, Ralph, is that this is what happens when you try to protect children. It's the second time. It's the second time you've tried to.
You would have thought I would have learned by now, yes, but well, that's what
you
happened.
haven't learned your You haven't learned.
I don't know how anybody could hear this story and believe it. They sent a lone woman who took point on a case that the FBI is involved with, yet they sent a woman by herself ahead of time. And then the agent showed up. The agent isn't the person that does the forensic stuff. They bring in a computer scientist from the forensic lab that does everything, bags, tags it, makes sure it goes in little pink bags after they take the hard drives out. And they write down the receipts. They take the laptops. They put them in little pink bags. They write the receipt out. It's a carbon paper. They give them the yellow one. The courts get the pink one. The agents keep the white one. And then they turn all this shit over. They send it to a forensics lab. The forensics lab takes everything. The only thing that they usually do live images of, if they don't have like a Spectre kit, is they'll take a live image of the phone using something like Cellbrite. So it's just not, it's not clicking. It ain't jawing with me. It doesn't look weird, and they got him to sign a consent form because they didn't have enough credible evidence to get a warrant, and a cop wouldn't have gotten a warrant that quickly in a matter of a few days. They would have had to have gone to the feds for help. So if the feds were able to get a warrant, they would have never needed his permission. But the fact that he's on probation to begin with, they wouldn't have needed permission. They would have called his probation officer to supervise to see if he's in violation of his probation. And they would have had him turn everything over, and he wouldn't have been given the courtesy of, signing a consent form. It's just weird. This whole thing does not add up. I heard this story last night, and just fucking the bullshit alarm was going off in my house. He's still on parole. He said multiple times that he's on parole. He said he needed permission from his PO to go to fucking Tennessee. And then he said that he was getting off parole in the next few months and that he couldn't wait because he wanted to go back to the UK to visit his wife. He said this multiple times on stream. No, I said literally that the FBI and the police aren't going to work together on a special task force regularly. She said that was her regular partner who is also on the FBI. That is not a regular partner. That is a liaison. The way that he explained it made no fucking sense. And if you look at this task force, there's only one woman on it, and her partner is a guy, and he's not in the FBI. You can see it by looking it up on the fucking SOVA ICAC website. It shows who's on the task force and who's on this. I can't believe this story. It doesn't add up. They don't take any images. They thumb through his phone. They thumb through his computer. They don't do any kind of forensic analysis. Are you kidding me? No, she said that she was that was her flat out partner. That her partner showed up, who's also in the FBI.
Me now.
When did he say that?
Anyway, the call goes on. It's like 8 minutes long. I'm not gonna play the whole call. I only played 2 or 3 minutes for her, and at that point, I said, "Well, I didn't admit to any drug use. That's a lie, and I didn't have any child porn." And she's like, "Look, I don't even care if you have drugs. That's not why."
She said, "I don't even care if you have drugs."
I'm here. I said, "Yeah, I understand. I know you have to check these things out." And she said, "Well, why would somebody do this to you?" And I said, "Well, they think it's funny." And I literally pulled up 8chan Cow and showed it to her. I said, they literally sit in this thread all day and think of ways to fuck with us. And she said, "Yeah, I know a little bit about it." I said, "The whole stream's up." She said, "We had got sent clips, like little snippets out of the stream." And I said, "Yeah, the whole stream's posted if you want to go listen to it." She said, "Yeah, I actually did. It was on a place, something called Kiwi." And I go, "Kiwi Farms." You know, obviously I already know what it is. And she said, yeah, Kiwi Farms. We started talking, and just, like, she was nice. I mean, there was no problems whatsoever. And she said, "Look, I just want to get this cleared up tonight. I think it's probably bullshit. But let's just get it cleared up tonight so I don't have to, so we can just, I can report back and say there's nothing up." And I said, "Sure, okay." And she said, "If you can just let my partner," her partner is actually FBI agent.
Right there. You just let my partner. Her partner is actually an FBI agent. Agents have their own partners. They're usually in pairs of 2, because legally, when agents meet you, they always have to bring an additional agent as a witness in case something happens or is discussed that could be illegal or illicit. It's actually in the agent handbook when they're being trained. So it wouldn't have just been one agent and a cop. It would have been 2 agents and a cop. They don't just hang out with the regular police. They would have come 2 agents in the car, and they would have come and backed up the cop. They would have taken point, and they wouldn't have sent the cop there. Agents always come in pairs. Always. They have to legally. So one lone agent wouldn't have shown up. They would have always come as a pair. It would have been 2 cops, and it would have been 2 agents and 1 cop. And they wouldn't have let the cop run point. They wouldn't have sent a female officer out there by herself when they're supposed to be the ones taking point. They never, ever send the cops first. If it's to the point that it's that serious that the FBI is being called in, they would have taken point. It's very strange. The whole story does not make sense. Agents do not show up without a partner. They do not show up by themselves. They always show up with 2 people. They never show up by themselves with a lone cop. That does not happen. It's just so weird. Why the hell would they send a woman by herself to talk to a guy who is on probation, who just did 8 months in prison for knocking out or attempting to punch a cop in the head? And then they send a lone agent out with no partner, no backup, to back up this woman, for which they make no attempts to scan or research or do any kind of forensics work. They just thumb through everything, click through everything, and then they say, oh, well, it sounds like bullshit. It sounds like a bunch of spurgs. This doesn't seem credible to me at all. I don't believe that. I don't take any of that seriously at all. I instantly, the bullshit alarm goes off in my head. And I start hearing this and I just go, nah, that's not true. Who's going to listen to somebody that tells this fucking story? You just start listening to them. Like, could you imagine her being on a cow? She's a cop and she's got somebody from the FBI there. And they're just talking and fucking, they see this random thing that he's on and they click it and they just go, oh, what's this? And,
All over me every fucking second. I can just scream over you too. You piece of shit motherfucker. Keep fucking running your mouth. I'll just keep hollering. You motherfucking piece of shit. Eat a fucking cop. You fucking piece of motherfucking shit. I fucking goddamn. Oh, we can just holler over each other all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Fuck you, motherfucker. I ain't leaving, bitch. You leave. What the fuck
I
am I
gotta
on YouTube?
because I can be
Fuck
on
off.
YouTube still.
Oh, wow. With your little 30 people on YouTube. Oh, my God, please.
I got more subs than you right now.
Okay.
yeah, they're really just going to go, you seem like a nice guy. They're not going to say, what are with all these pictures of you rubbing your stomach on a young girl? It says her name's Soph, and that you said it's okay for you to put your stomach on her head because she's got 800,000 subs? Yeah, they're just going to be like, yeah, you seem like a nice guy. Yeah, we're totally okay with that. Nah, I don't believe any of this. It seems like bull, to be honest. You seem like a stand-up guy. I don't believe that it's you. Oh, what is this thing? It says alcoholic on it, and let's just see what this says. I'm just gonna do my due diligence.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I really believe that story. So I don't know how the hell Andy talked to the cops when he was go-karting on stream when this apparently happened. It's just, it makes no sense. No sense. And now Andy's saying that he's there. Come on, Andy. You told me that you were never going to lie again. You told me you were going to be nothing but honest. I don't see how the hell Andy was able to talk to the cops at the exact same time. And what, you think I'm not going to call the cops and double check if they ever even came to your house? That they're gonna tell you that you're completely cleared of all crimes before they even fucking properly investigate it thoroughly? I don't believe this story. Andy told me he was never going to lie again. That he was always going to tell the truth. So I want Andy to come on here and tell the truth. I want Andy to come on here and try to tell me that he was talking to the cops while that entire time he was fucking playing go-kart adventure and playing with fucking buying TVs and buying arcade tokens. Yet he never once got off the stream that entire time. I can't believe this story. And then the cops that are there with FBI agents said, oh, you've got other devices that aren't on site? Other devices right here? Oh, don't worry about it. We're not going to do our due diligence and follow up. I mean, there's possibilities that there could be other stuff that's incriminating on that laptop, but we don't want to drive. You know, you seem like a nice guy. Just go enjoy your night. Yeah, okay. Sure. Sure. They're in the middle of investigating you for potential crimes that they've been tipped on. And they're gonna say, you seem like a nice guy. You know, we're not. You can even have drugs in the house. We don't even care. We're just such nice people. You know, forget the fact that we're law enforcement. Yeah, okay. Come on. I'm gonna have a long talk with Andy about this because none of this is adding up to me. None of this makes sense. It doesn't follow legal procedure. It doesn't follow the procedure for documenting evidence for the Department of Justice. It doesn't follow the procedure for documenting evidence with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. None of this makes sense. I want to see proof of this. I want to see a documented, form signed by cops, signed by an FBI agent. And if I have to, I'll just call one of my colleagues and I'll ask them a question, and I'll have them look and see if the actual FBI was really there or not. Because this whole story doesn't make sense. Shows up, like, come on. Yeah, you know what? I should ask Nick about this. I think I am. I think I'm gonna ask Nick about it. I'm gonna DM him in a little while. Ask him about the legality of this. I'm gonna go eat some food, I guess, and then relax. So, thanks for joining me. Appreciate you guys watching. Really hope Andy isn't lying about this, because if I find out that Andy is lying for Ralph, well, then I will just cut all ties with Andy altogether, because I hate liars. So, thanks for joining me. We're gonna enjoy some "Murder on My Mind" remix by our good friend Spirit, who was a guest on Ralph's show yesterday.
Go, let's go.